Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstormcast this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a 1 vs 1 on Meeting of Minds. Playing on the right hand side as the Imperial Guard, we've got Just Wait 1 Week. And playing on the left hand side as the Eldar, we have got Yang Wen Li. Yang Wen Li will be opening up a couple of Guardian squads, a Plasma Generator and a Aspect Portal. Whereas Just Wait is going to go for a couple of Guardsmen, a Tech Priest Engine Seer, a Infantry Command, and a Plasma Generator. So this is a very exciting matchup, one for the factions, Imperial Guard and Eldar, always good to see on the battlefield, but also because the players as well. If you're unfamiliar and quite new to the community and the Dawn of War, I suppose, in general, Yang Wen Li, very well known, very skilled player, and I'm not so sure about Just Wait 1 Week. I do believe that this was a auto match ranked game, but I believe that obviously if you're going up against, tall and strong people such as the Yang Man, Just Wait must be on a similar kind of caliber going on there. I got this game from the Dawn of War replay website. It's not been working for Definitive Edition for quite some time. I think there's still some few issues to work on through there, but it's quite exciting, so I'll still be doing the games that people send in via the Discords, but occasionally I'll throw one of these pro games. Shall we call them pro games? I think we'll call them pro games. Here comes the Commander Squad from Just Wait, as always, running straight on forward and seeing what he can bash about. I imagine you're going to go for, yes, what you're called, a Farseer, and then going to go into a couple of Dark Reapers. Farseer really good in the matchup against the Imperial Guard. With her Mind War, she could basically one-shot one of the smaller boys. In fact, no, he's going to go for the big boy himself and then try and keep on top of him. If he manages to break the distance, then the Mind War's cancelled. But, Farseer, quite fast and nimble with her fleet of foot. Keeps on top of him, almost doing, well, nearly all the damage. But down to yellow health, which is not really what he wants straight away from the get-go. Got a singular Commissar running forward. He's got Commander Armor. There's a fair bit of damage in close combat and range as well, so sometimes you will see players throw down just a singular Commissar in the early game rather than a squad of Imperial Guardsmen to run forward with. Come in, do some damage, then when he's low health, will go back and join a squad of Guardsmen, I imagine. But here's the first squad of Dark Reapers going first and foremost for the Dark Reaper Exarch, because this dude increases the damage of all the friends inside the squad. So that is a thing. Look at this, oh my goodness. Not a forward turret in sight. It's a beautiful thing to see. These guys not going to bother chasing after those lads. They're going to see if they can deny some areas. A guide being cast upon the Dark Reapers, so that increases their overall accuracy. The Priest comes on in. There's a bit of a swipe. Not going to go for the secondary Psyker. Just instead of buying that Commissar instead. So got a bit more maneuverability. Command Squad can chase after one Dark Reaper squad. And if a second one turned up, then the Commissar could then charge after them. Guardsmen here being bothered and pestered by the Farseer. And now we're seeing an upgrade on the listing post on the northern side. I imagine we'll probably see something very similar on this side. Or at the very least, the Tech Priest and you see it jumping inside the listing post for additional damage. Dark Reaper's going to jump into the heavy cover to avoid any kind of incoming fire from listing post, but Dark Reapers, they can outrange a listing post, but would probably want to ideally not be shot up as much as possible, considering their low model health in comparison to other infantry units in the game. The Farseer going for a cheeky swipe at listing post, but she's also not built for killing stuff like that. The Commissar's been killed by the Mind War there. There's quite a lot of attention to details, does the use of a Farseer, and to be fair, Eldari in general. For all these blue boys, quite easy to get all their models the same and, think, oh, well, they're all just the same kind of model. Speaking of beautiful blue, if you want beautiful blue models on your tabletop, or what craft world have you gone for? You've gone for the red one, which I think is Sam Hain, maybe. I'm not sure, I don't know my craft worlds, but if you want, lore-accurate faction paintings on your tabletop, or just blue. Throw away all colour coding, just go for blue everything. Play sport down the bottom right hand side. Supporting the channel, thank you for supporting us. Links in the description as always. So the Dark Reapers are, they're doing their thing. We've now got a Psyker in the midst of the command squad, but they'll jump inside of the listing post. They now do have a... Oh, no, you do not have a fully fledged squad of Dark Reapers. You've got 5 men because you've got a Farseer in there with you. Capturing the... Oh, have you not... Oh, you've not caught it. You've decapped it, but the flag there is just being a bit of a silly billy, as they would say in the craft worlds, I imagine. And no major aggression going on at the moment. Just fighting over control of the centre, really. The critical location is in Yang's favour. Got now 2 squads of guardsmen. Are you teching up? You are indeed teching up at the moment. And I assume you're going to probably be doing the same. Yes, you are indeed. So both players getting into Tier 2 in the same kind of manner, I assume. For just wait, it'll be a couple of chimeras to move these guys around as they are going for mass grenade launchers. Let's get them nice and close. Unload a volley of grenade launchers. Knock these guys down on the backsides. And happy days. Mind you that Yang Wenli will probably be going for a Falcon Grav tank the same kind of manner. Except for that, obviously, the Falcon Grav tank can jump around and such. So if the chimeras get too close, you jump inside, jump away, and then stay nice, safe, and thirsty on the inside.
It will be my honor.
No commissars now in the ranks of the guardsmen, by the looks of things. They are getting them upgrades, that is something. Listing post been upgraded on the southern side, but the grenade launchers will outrange it. Not a bad weapon to break down the listing shrines. Will take him a little bit, but that's fine. Dark Reaper's umming and ahhing whether to go into ranged combat, considering that the Imperial Guard now have access to all this heavy cover. Whether they charge it in and then get close and personal for the firefights, that's a bit of a risk, because obviously the command squad can then boosh them in close combat. Now got a priest coming over, which increases the overall DPS of the guardsmen, also increases their hit points in comparison to the commissar, who increases the morale and health regeneration of the guardsmen. I've got one singular Dark Reaper opening fire on one singular guardsman. The listing post is being done in slowly but surely. Burnsinger will repair it. At the moment, I really wish that the fog would just disappear at this point. If anyone knows if the fog get rid of her has been updated, please let us know. I should really check this myself. I know where to check. I just keep on forgetting because I'm a terrible person. Bit of an overcommitment on trying to take down this listing post. They have a fair number of the guardsmen down here. And now with only 2 squads of guardsmen, Dark Reapers will be coming in. We've also got the Harlequin coming in. Mass electric storm to do some damage to the guardsmen. And yeah, this Harlequin is just jumping over absolutely everywhere. Grenade launchers won't do much if you're being stabbed in the face by Harlequin. Strange choice of the Sentinel from just where. I assume he's probably thinking he's getting the drop on the Eldari if they go for a Falcon Grav tank. Also can get a decap on points if it's able to. We continue the pressure on the southern side. Another Burnsinger goes down. Like I say, critical location being decapped by the Sentinel. Harlequin getting some good jumps and slashes on in there. The Dark Reapers start focusing on what they can. There's that Falcon Grav tank, so the Sentinel now has a target to start focusing fire on. Another Burnsinger teleporting in, and yeah, this listing post is costing a lot of men. A lot of men to take it down. Falcon will jump over to the left-hand side, gives the Dark Reapers a nice little wall to hide behind so the command squad can't get him. Curse Machine Spirit gets popped off on the Falcon Grav tank, but it seems to have just ignored it. So must have been a miscast from the Psyker, but finally that listing post, or listing shrine, sorry, got to misname a Eldari building, but it's gone down. Sentinels can now run roughshod over everything, and if they can get a vision on these little buildings out here, they can focus down on them, but no going to decide to go for listing shrine over on the northern side. Eldari don't have the forces to repel such things in 2 different places. Double Harlequins get the pimp slap from the command squad. And all these grenade launchers being thrown in. If they could just keep away from these Harlequins, they're having a right field there. One lady is about to go down, landing flat on her face. Now gone for a Viper, which should be able to help with the Sentinels, but also, but you can just see by that AoE knockback. Just absolutely spreads these guys out across the battlefield, really, allowing the Dark Reapers to focus fire down one dude. Speaking of which, one dude got a sergeant over here, point blank refusing to run away from these Harlequins, possibly infused by the thigh-high socks. It's not worth it, Sergeant. Oh dear, yep. Sacrificing himself for the thigh-highs. We've all been there, boys and girls. As a man of age, I can tell you, it's never worth it. It's a reason why they're all a bit bonkers. The Viper attempted to escape from the... Well, not attempting, successfully evading the command squad after being zapped by the Cursed Machine Spirit. I do believe that even if you are cursed, you are still able to jump. But I could be mistaken there. Looking for a flanking maneuver. Missing that shot. Oh dear. Having to go back to Eldar firing school. There we are. It's doing an incredible amount of damage, but like I said, the knockback is worth its weight in gold. Ooh, bit of a risky maneuver here. Getting right close to personal. Command squad getting a swipe on in there. Big electric storm from the Farseer. And a constant ream of Harlequins, but these girls are quite expensive. But they've got one squad for each Imperial Guard unit. You know, here being a little bit worse for weather, just kind of standing around. Sentinels blocking, well, not necessarily blocking, but they're distracting the Harlequins over here. Dark Reapers have lost their mode of transport. It's going to be a long walk home if they want to get back into Eldari land. Lovely little spin from the Harlequins there. Seems that the Imperial Guardsmen on the northern side have gone for a couple of plasma guns as well. Heavy weapon upgrade on them allows them to go for more than just a regular free weapons. So just Waits seeming to be investing a lot of money into his guardsmen. Now just got one singular Dark Reaper alive for the Farseer. Here comes a squad of fire dragons to focus down these sentinels. These ladies can absolutely melt their way through the vast majority of the Imperial Guard armor and their buildings, to be fair. And we're still having these weird shadow things going on. Don't like it. Worries me greatly. It's also very distracting from a casting perspective. Now got... Oh, there we go. Got a Commissar joining the boys. So double priests keep the boys alive with their God Save the Emperor ability and increased overall DPS. And then the Commissar to inspire the men. Always really dangerous is a fully upgraded squad formation of guardsmen once they start to overlap their bonuses. We now also have an engagement from the northern side. Yang Wenli going to go for a Wraith Lord. Absolutely devastating unit with its double flamers, close combat capabilities, and the Bright Lands on top of it. Now gone for a thermal plasma generator on the northern side. It's almost been taken down. They do not want any kind of economic advantage. Speaking of economy, 124 and 79 for the Imperial Guard compared to 143 and 90. Beautiful. Glad we're going to see that huge Eldritch Storm on top of the boys. We're going to lower them down to half health. So Yang Wenli has got the economic advantage at the moment, which is surprising considering that they've lost a couple of points here. So I think you've got the economic advantage. Yeah, you do. So the Imperial Guard needs to start upgrading some of their points, or at least going for the mobilization for war upgrade. Never really be sure if they've gone for those upgrades. I wish that they had a little plus 6, plus 12, whatever thing on the replays. I wonder if that's possible with any kind of technologically minded modding people out there. I will learn to mod myself one day, but no, who am I kidding? That's never going to happen.
6 minutes until taking full victory.
I can barely install a game these days now that Steam's rotted my brain. But they've managed to kill this post down here. Almost get a decap on there, but a squad of fire dragons has been slain. Imperial Guard going to have to rely on their sentinels to do some damage to the enemy. The problem is that the sentinel, being a vehicle itself, will fall foul to the Wraith Lord's Bright Lances. In more professional games, well, I say more professional, in these kinds of professional games, you will see Eldari players kind of forego the Fire Dragons for a mass of Wraith Lords with the Bright Lances. That tends to be the mobile anti-vehicle. When you've got this many options for Chaos Machine Spirits to stun your vehicles, maybe a squad of Fire Dragons is not too bad. But all the priests saying a prayer to the Emperor to keep them immortal for a brief 10 seconds, something like that. It's got the Cascans as well. Can murder their way through a squad of infantry or heavy infantry. Valkyrie's still alive. There comes the Valkyrie. Assaults, Imperial Guard are in tier 3. I'm running on the assumption that you're in tier 3 as well. Yes, you are. You've got the tier council out and about. It's both placed relatively, you know, same on the economy, although, like I said, the Eldari are a little bit forward from that, but whenever one techs up, the other one is doing the same. These players will have their build orders and their teching up timings absolutely on lockdown. Potential another huge explosion. Lightning force right at the top of the Cascans and the Guardsmen. But a bit of weather won't stop the boys.
4 minutes.
That's how it works. Got a webway gate here that's been taken down. I assume we've got another one over on this side. No, you don't. I expected that you'd have one down here and one up there just to bob and weave between the two places. Might be wondering why it's not gone for the invisibility on the webway gate. That's because the command squad will have a Psyker in there. Basically at all times, there's no point in really going for it. We've got warp spiders jumping right in the middle of everyone. Very brave indeed. And the Wraith Spaff, essentially, from the Seer Council prevents the Cascans from running away, but Priest will keep them alive. Once again with another prayer. And a forward heavy ball to it. Spurs, at this point, have you got spare money? You've got spare money. And if you're trying to keep the momentum going... Oh, it's cancelled it, never mind. But you can be forgiven.
3 minutes until
if you're wanting to keep your position, and you know that you're outnumbered, a cheeky turret, when you've got spare money, isn't the worst idea. Now got a squad of Ogrins, maybe go toe-to-toe with the Seer Council. Command squad keeping their toes on top of the toes of the Warp Spiders. Unlike their Eldari cousins and Breadwin, they don't have any fleet of foot, so while they can teleport, that's wonderful for their maneuverability. Got to be really, really careful by not overextending them. Once they're in, and they've used all the jumping juice, that's it for a little while. Ogrin's beating down a Wraith Lord. I wasn't probably on his bingo card there for this engagement. The Warp Spiders really, really good at being able to collectively jump on one target and focus it down. But their ability to do that will be mitigated by the Priest being able to make those guys immortal for a little while. Ogrin's not messing around. Even though the Seer Council have got Commander armor, their ability to bonk cannot be underestimated, and the sheer amount of health that these guys have. We tend to see a Council having relatively the same kind of health as 8 Ogrins. But do you have a Priest in your ranks? I assume you do. That is the general way forward, but I can't see him. Then again, there are a lot of people in colours out in the open. Another huge electric storm. The cooldown on that ability is remarkably short when you think about it. All the lower player Eldari players will kind of forget about their Farseer and air abilities, but true skill has been able to keep your commanders alive and active throughout the battle. Warp Spiders witnessing their doom. Mass morale breaking. They will jump away to regain that morale. Absolutely stellar battle from both these players so far. Very few mistakes, if any, really, being made. This is just textbook Dawn of War at the moment. We've got a beautiful flanking maneuver from a handful of Sentinels. While the battle's been raging in the centre, these guys will just waltz on in. And, I mean, they can't be tied up by the Harlequins, so they've got free reign. They're going to focus down the, the Wraith Lord. Before then, I mean, go and kill something. Do some economic damage. That's what we want to see. Fire Dragons popping from... No, I don't think they took as much of an advantage as they could, being a little bit skittish there. But I suppose they had to take down the Wraith Lord, otherwise they would have lost some of their boys. And it would have really been a good trade. Oh, the double Ferma plant. Well, not double. The one over here has been killed, but the one down here is now being rebuilt. Both players got so much economy, they can't really keep up with the spending. It might look like they've got a flirt going on. That is not the case. They are all spending it as best they can, but meeting of minds to get a really large economy going. So it's hard to really keep on top of it. That's why we're seeing these extra forward emplacements. Also got a lovely heavy weapons team being buffered by a couple of structures. So if the Eldar decide to go down through this side, which is, to be fair, probably the easiest place to go, considering that you've got the heavy turrets and the... Well, not heavy turrets, the heavy cover and the wall. Who are you attacking? Oh, the command squad. Look at him, just one dude. Trying his best, he goes down. Now got an assassin around here as well. One real problem with the assassin from an enemy's perspective is that he's not a big showy guy. He's infiltrated, very hard to see, one singular man, and the damage he does basically down to singular targets. There's no big booms or anything, so it's very easy for an assassin just sit on the back lines and just add a lot of DPS to the Imperial Guard's fighting formation and remain basically unnoticed.
5 minutes until taking hold victory.
And now it's just... It's like a battle in a Hollywood medieval film. There's no formations, it's just everyone being thrown around. Boys in the battlelines using the best of their abilities as they can. Large, big explosion. I don't know why I said large and big. They're synonymous terms back to back are fundamentally useless, but the heavy weapons team is ignoring that completely. But a mind war on them, that's a real problem. Even those two brains there, they work as one. Like true men. So the Eldari doing major fine job over here. And then double fire dragons and double Wraith Lords breaking through. Listing post on the northern side. Got the Basilisk round behind the mountain, which will send these guys backpacking with the Ogrins on the front lines. But I'm worried about these Wraith Lords and the fire dragons. They've now lost two listing posts, and yeah, they've still got the one down here, so that's fine. The fire dragons with the heavy infantry armor, a little bit harder to break down than your standard Eldari unit. Get the decap on the strategic point there. Ogre's continuing to bonk the Seer Council. And there's the priest. The Seer Council will run away. I've got a heavy weapons team round this side as well. Is anyone fighting near the mountain side? Will get done in. Double webway gates, not sure why you're here. I wonder if you've gone for the health regen upgrade on your webway gates.
3 minutes until taking hold victory.
And where the Eldari don't have to run so far back to stabilise their footing. But, I mean, that was a really strong attack from the Eldar, fighting in two different places. Imperial Guard, like I said, they really enjoy having a bunch of infantry supporting each other with different weapons and commanders. So picking them apart, it's not a bad idea. Beautiful use of these warp spiders. Sadly there, the Casticans were not taking damage at the time on account of their priest. And the Basilisks now able to throw down lots of fire. So now where they jump, they'll still be taking a consistent amount of DPS. Wraith Lords not giving one iota of care. Along with these Brightlands platforms, they are on a Basilisk hunt. They're not seeing anything at the moment, so they'll just focus on the buildings instead. 2 minutes till taking hold victory from Yang Wenli. I do apologise if you can hear my sniffling in the microphone, by the by. It must have come down some sort of cold or something over the past 5 minutes. Basilisk is dead. That's sad. Heavy weapons team has got the auto cannon, so general damage against all sorts of stuff, but no, not really specialising against anything else. Would have been amazing to have seen a las cannon on them, but I suppose they also have to deal with the warp spiders and everything else as well. And the Imperial Guard, having lost their infantry command down here, they are now squad capped. That is the problem of using those kinds of buildings as a defensive structure. If you lose them, you'll then put up the back lines, and being able to rebuild your army is going to be a little bit more trickier than normal. Over here, the Imperial Guard are trying to get a decap, but the Eldar are using their webways to master the map. Can they actually get it down? Yeah, they should be able to. There we go. So that cancels the critical location countdown victory. And it's just, yeah, like I say, there's no real one big battle going on. There's just lots and lots of scrappy bits going on over here. Not sure what... Oh, you're here to stop these guys from capturing that stuff. And now the Ogrins are going to be punching everyone and anyone. Eldar being quite cheeky by building a ballistic post of their own on the enemy base. If anything, just to slow down their recapture of it. A couple of Tech Priest agencies coming out to help rebuild things. Ogrins slapping things down. And just constant Wraith Lords coming from the support portal. I don't know if they've gone for their tier 4 and for a potential Avatar K. No, they're just keeping on top of their warp spider population. I suppose if you're engaging in constant aggression, investing that much money into a relic unit is quite difficult. At the moment, the Imperial Guard money is going a little bit worse for wear, 92 and 84 compared to 130 and 116, but still not much float for these guys as they're constantly losing models and having to replace them. Like a lot of battles we've seen on the channel where you can kind of see where the battle's been going on by the massive bodies in one area or the other. It's across the battlefield, absolutely everywhere. The Ogrins have basically done a lap of the Eldari base. Sentinels looking to pop down a vehicle or two. And the Imperial Guard looking like he's a little bit... Don't know if he's going to commit to this. Is he understanding that he's a little bit... Oh, I don't know. Oh no, he's left. Oh, boo! Why? Why would you do that? I mean, I can see why. You know, you've had you're on the back foot, but doesn't mean that you're gonna go. Oh, that's a shame. It could have been, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like massive Wraith Lords, difficult for the Imperial Guard to deal with. But it wasn't over. There were things to do. Oh well, that was the climactic end of the game, I suppose. Morale was the real weakness of the Imperial Guard here. But that being said, both players absolutely phenomenal right from the get-go. Absolutely on top of their build orders, absolutely on top of their teching and all their economy and stuff. Really shows you that once you get those basic mechanics down and you have a rough idea of what you're doing, how just back and forth a battle can be. And like I say, just the corpses strewn across the battlefield just show that there was no real like one-sided nature of it. It was just absolutely everywhere all the time, so beautiful stuff indeed. So cheers boys and girls for watching at home, and if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there's also a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. My name's been Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.